Hey rockers, thanks for coming back on this illustrious Sunday evening to check out another tale, man. You know, it's another curveball. I keep thinking of all these stories that really aren't rock and roll, but if I was going to write a book, this would be part of the book, one of the little chapters in the book. So here we go. We're going back to 1996, man, and if you stick around to the end of the video, I'm going to show you a picture of me dressed as Santa Claus, because when I was working as Santa Claus, of course, I had many photos taken. 1996, we're a few years before I'm going to be getting involved with professional radio broadcasting. I'm singing for a band called the Renegades. We're sort of an outlaw country band doing 2-3 gigs a week, 4 sets of music a night to pay the rent. Well, I got a phone call one day from one of my cousins. She might be watching now. Cindy McLeod, I love you. She was working at the Northwoods Mall in Peoria, Illinois, doing something with management, but she was in charge of hiring the holiday Santa Claus that would sit down in the square in the middle of the Northwoods Mall in this completely winter wonderland, decorated, fake snow, candy canes, really cool thing for little kids kind of environment. They needed Santa Clauses, and when she called me to ask me if I'd like one of the jobs as one of the Santa Clauses, I couldn't believe it. I'm like, me? Play Santa Claus. And she's like, yeah, why not? You're going to be dressed up. It might as well be you getting some money. And I thought, how long does the job last? She was like, what do you mean? It's for the Christmas season. I'm like, okay, let me think about it. Yes. So I took on the job as jolly old Saint Nick. And let me tell you something. It's not as easy as it sounds, man. Many challenges to being Santa Claus. I don't think I'd do it again, you know? Maybe, but I don't know. I don't think so. But the pay was good. There were a few other Santas. There were some really good ones, and then some not so good ones. I'd say I was probably right in the middle. Depends on your perspective, right? If you're like 3. Anyway, I will say, the job had me nervous. I didn't know what to expect. But she said, don't worry, we've got everything you need. Just show up at this day, at this time. Come upstairs. There's a locker room. I'll give you all your gear, and then you'll have a little locker, and every time you come up there, you can put on your Santa stuff. I said, okay. And I went to the Northwoods Mall, and I definitely was nervous. So like, oh, man, I wasn't saying ho, ho, ho. I was saying oh, oh, oh. I just thought of that on the spot, man. So there's all these like things you have to put on, right? First of all, you have to put on these weird pants that are like Santa pants and something that's like underneath them as well. Kind of weird. But all of a sudden you're like wearing these red felt like velvety pants. And then they have these like Santa Claus boots that you put on over your shoes, I believe. And then the challenge arises because you've got to have the top part on, make yourself look heavy set. They had some features that you could use up there. They had the Santa Claus like coat. They had the Santa Claus hat. They had the Santa Claus beard. And you had to like really do it right though. It took a while to get ready. It was like you're doing a very important job. You're going out there representing one of the, coolest cats ever, right? A guy that all the kids love and expect something good from. And so you don't want to let him down. But some of those little varmints let me down. It was a nightmare some days. Sometimes it was really fun too, because there were some kids that would really believe and you were just like, this is awesome. It's like playing Mickey Mouse. Come on, man. It's got to be fun. As long as there's not a monster inside the costume. And I, at this point, had a 3.5-year-old daughter, so I'll get to that in a moment. So I get on my Santa Claus gear. I'm looking all jolly, getting ready to go do my thing. I look in the mirror and I thought, not bad, not bad. At the time, I was wearing glasses a lot more. I use them only for like driving and distance nowadays, but back then I would use them a lot more. I thought I'll wear my glasses to add a little touch of older look, a more wiser look, like jolly old Saint Nick's got a look, right? So I threw on my glasses, had my Santa hat on with a big fluffy ball, and I had my little padding, and I had my boots and my pants and my shirt, and I walked downstairs, and it was like I felt like the President of the United States. That must be how Santa Claus feels, right? When he's like the complete center of attention. It's all about him making people happy. Just making people happy. Kids, And who doesn't love kids, right? Even the most hardcore of the hardcore likes little kids, dude, right? I do. I always liked animals and kids. What are you going to do? And there's nothing bad about any of that. It's all good. So there you go. For any, no freaks out there thinking anything weird. Am I projecting? I hope not. Anyway, I go to walk down to the mall and I'm like, oh my Lord. And there's a lady there that's hired to take photos of me with kids, and they charge an outlandish amount to get a photo with Santa. They have different people like playing like elves that are like elves helping kids on my lap. It was a trip, man. I had to meet these people. And they were just kind of like, yeah, hey, what's up, Santa? You know, and then you walk down the green and red velvety little area. It's like you're in the movie Elf. You feel like Will Smith for a minute. Like you think, this is weird, you know? And you walk down this little velvety aisle, and next thing you know, there's Santa's throne, and you get to sit in it. You know, as a kid, you see it, or when you're a little kid, you sit on Santa's lap. And if you're a parent, you take your kid to sit on Santa's lap. But it's a whole nother ball game when you become Santa, right? It's a trip, man. How many of you have played Santa Claus at a special event somewhere or for a job? Leave some info in the comments about your experience. And please think about subscribing to the channel. Give it a like if you like the video. And yeah, all that good stuff. So I sit down on the throne and it's time for action, right? Kids are lining up, man. And I'm like, oh boy, here we go. You know, and it was good. It was good for the first couple of hours. And then all of a sudden there was the kids that were showing up that didn't believe in Santa Claus, and they were going to do anything to try to prove it in their 1 minute on Santa's lap kind of thing. It sucked because they'd try to pull your beard down, or they'd see part of my beard. At the time, I had a kind of a big beard because I was singing in this country band, and I'd wear all black cowboy hats and, you know, my Waylon Jennings belt buckle that I still wear today every day. And, you know, my black biker boots and just whatever. That's the way I dressed. And I still had the beard underneath the Santa Claus beard. And some kids would go, I see your beard. I see brown. Or you'd go, God, how did I not cover that good enough? I sat there for 20 minutes in a mirror, kid. But most of them were good, man. Most of the kids were good. A couple pissed themselves on my lap. Yep, that was not fun. Some kids would start crying, and then you'd get real awkward. It's just like, what do you say? You know, hey, kid, it's okay. I'm Santa. You know, there's nothing you can do. So sometimes there was epic failures, man. But the ones that tried to pull the beard down were the worst, because if they got a hold of the beard, they're going to ruin it for all those other kids in line. And then boom, they're all going to be a bunch of crying kids, and I'm going to be the guy looking bad. Bad Santa. Wasn't that a movie? It was. What was his name? Billy. Man, he's in a band. He's a singer. Billy Thornton. Billy Bob Thornton. Yeah, Bad Santa. All right. Back on track. So I did the Santa gig for, you know, a few days a week for the entire Christmas season. And it was tough, man. But like I say, the money was good. Here's a good part. My wife, Tracy. You guys know her as Sister Tracy on the Church of Rock radio show, right? And Latitude 42 radio. And she's been on tons of my records doing vocals and backup vocals. She brings our daughter to the mall one day to get her picture taken with Santa. And I was super nervous about this one, guys, because what if my kid realized, Dad, there goes the whole Santa thing down the drain for her and us. No more fun, no more magic. But she didn't. She brought her, set her on my lap, looked at me, and I thought, oh no, she knows. And I think maybe instinctively she probably did in a psychic way, but she didn't in a physical way. She was 3.5 years old, man. This was November, December 1996. So 3.5 years old, my kid gets photos taken with me as Santa Claus. You imagine my delight years later when she stopped believing in Santa Claus and I was able to show her the photos from that and tell her the story. Yeah, that was pretty cool. The thing about it, man, we got pictures taken, and what I wanted to say is if you're from Central Illinois and you took your kid to get a picture with Santa at the Northwoods Mall in Peoria in 1996, there's a slim chance, but there's a chance that it could be me at my lap, that your kid was sitting on his lap, because there was only like 3 or 4 Santas, and there was a Santa every day at the mall because it was big money for those photos. And again, they paid us fair. So check your photos, man. And if you decide, or if you realize that you've got a photo of me as Santa Claus, I will give you some kind of prize. I will give you a free copy of my new album, Dark Days Unfazed. If you have a picture of me as Santa. I will say, Brother Bill Meisner, guitar player from Bloody Mess and the Scabs and Sub 13 and etc., Bill came with another friend of mine, Lisa, and they both sat on my lap and got a photo taken with me. And I think I have that somewhere still. It was a great picture. Other people I knew brought their kids to have them sit on my lap. Like, this is just too much. Bloody is Santa. Got to get that kid on that lap. So there's tons of people out there that do have those photos. I'd love to see if somebody, comes up with one of those, man. Yeah, the job lasted, like I say, the entire Christmas season. It was really trippy, though, man, because I would tell people I'm playing Santa, and everybody would almost spit their beer or their soda or whatever they were drinking out if I'd tell them I was Santa Claus, because I had just come from like a 15-year career in massive, crazy shock rock and punk rock. Now I was doing outlaw country, and all of a sudden, ho, 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 I was Santa Claus, man. And it was pretty trippy. I do want to show you guys a photo of me as Santa. You've waited around long enough. I'm not sure how long this has been taping. 10 minutes, almost 11 minutes. Thanks for hanging in there, man, you guys. Here you go. Oh, it's going to blur on me. It's because it's a glossy photo. There you go. There you go. Bloody Claus. That is me as Santa Claus. See my green throne in the background that I'm sitting on? Yep. Ho, ho, ho. Now, somewhere I've got a photo of my daughter on my lap, but I couldn't find it. We moved recently, and everything's in kind of disarray. But thanks for checking out my story. I just couldn't help. I'm like, God, it's Christmas season. Lots of people that watch this show celebrate Christmas. But I will give a little bit of equal time to those that don't. There's a lot of people that don't have the same belief systems. Let's face it. You know what's cool about this channel is, oh man, I'm spitting as I talk. What's cool about this channel is there's hardly ever any negativity. The first few months I was doing this, it was like swatting them off, man. Like, people were coming at me saying all kinds of nasty stuff, like personal stuff, and trying to get under my skin. But anytime you put yourself out there in the public eye in any shape, way, or form, you've got to deal with that. And if you got to figure out a way to reconcile, or you can deal with it like Ronnie Radke does. If you know who that is, you know what I'm talking about. I kind of like his rants. But yeah, man, tell me what you think about the story. Did you expect me to have played Santa Claus? I don't think so. It was a really fun experience. Thanks again to my cousin Cindy. Thank you guys to watching this video. I've got another story about rock and roll. Probably going to do it tomorrow. So you can probably look forward to a new vid tomorrow or the next day. I don't like to make promises I can't keep, but probably tomorrow, because I've got the story ready to go, kinda. I've got a photo that goes with it too. Yeah, I need to get more hip on my skills with doing videos. They're pretty basic. But I appreciate all my subscribers, man, you guys, and thanks a lot. I hope you guys, no matter what you believe in, I'm happy I've got a community that's very positive here. A lot of people that believe a lot of stuff, man, from, every kind of religion to no religion, people that are completely straight. Some people are completely bent. And you know what? I welcome you all. Glad that you're all cool with my stories, because I'm only human. I've got some stuff that I kind of hold back on because I'm just afraid some people are going to go, oh, I'm out of here. But at the same time, they're coming, man. They are coming. A lot of people requesting stories that I haven't told about certain artists. I've got to get that stuff out there, man. So thanks for being here. I'll be back again, hopefully tomorrow, with another rock and roll tale concerning a band out of North Carolina, I believe. And maybe in Athens, Georgia for a while they were living in too and based in back in the 80s. But I'll talk to you soon. Cheers, rock and roll, and thanks for being here. I'm going to go out with this picture of Santa Claus, and maybe I'll sing you a little Christmas tune. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas. I recorded that one time back in 1987, I believe, and released it on a cassette tape called The Worst of Bloody Mess in 1987 or 88. Just like the ones I used to know. Ho, 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 ho. Please subscribe to my channel or Santa Claus won't bring you nothing.